welcome back to another video, and in today's video we got Money in the Bank predictions. This year we have a 4-match card with 2 Money in the Banks and 2 matches otherwise. But yeah, so not a huge card, but some pretty good matches that could definitely be some bangers. But how we feeling?
Yeah, overall I feel like the night will be good. It's just a little bit weird that we're only getting 4 matches on this card. We've seen in the past up to 7, even more matches on the card. We've seen them at Manias, obviously, but they had a 7-match card just 2 or 3 years ago. So it's kind of weird to go down all the way to 4, but I guess, you know, the matches maybe will make it that much time, because you know the John Cena match will probably get a lot of time alongside the Money in the Bank matches.
Yeah, let's kick things off with the women's Money in the Bank match, where the women will get a championship contract, and Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie McMahon face off, and who will grab that briefcase?
Yeah, I think this women's Money in the Bank ladder match is probably the most stacked Money in the Bank match we've had ever. Not even just in the women's division, but even in the men's division, this might be the most stacked one. Everyone feels like someone who is world champion material. Everyone has things going for them right now in the moment. However, my pick, I'm kind of stuck between 2. I feel like Naomi and Stephanie McMahon right now are the 2, because I feel like they're just kind of giving Stephanie everything right now, and if you give her Money in the Bank right off the rip like that, that'd be insane. However, I am going to go with Naomi as my final pick.
Yeah, for this one, I also think I am going to go Naomi, but I definitely think there's a case for every woman to win this match, and I kind of wouldn't be surprised. Like, obviously, see Rhea Ripley, who I'm not going to say I don't want her to win, just because, you know, she is a super mega star, and she is going to be great TV. She's going to be there with the briefcase, but I honestly don't think she needs this. I like the Money in the Bank being like a kind of a thing to kind of set you up for your career later on. I think Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Stephanie could obviously use this, and kind of like, you know, it's, I guess all of them are former NXT World Women's Champions, but having a Money in the Bank briefcase already on your resume would definitely look very nice. But to say all that, I am still going to go with Naomi.
Yeah, I think Roxanne Perez could be another really good pick as well, just because that could be more of a split for the Judgment Day, more of a divide between her and Liv. She's getting in the way of what she wants. Maybe Liv even wins the title. She could catch it on Liv type of thing at some point. Yeah, it could be very interesting for Roxanne to win it as well.
And then next up, we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line, where Lyra Valkyria takes on Becky Lynch once again, but this time with a little bit of a stipulation. So if Becky Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title as long as Valkyria is champion. But if Valkyria loses, she will be forced to raise Lynch's hand and acknowledge Lynch as the better woman. To say all that, who are you going with on the night?
Yeah, they really won me over with this stipulation with Lyra Valkyria's promo that they did this Monday. It was very good, and she mentioned that the same hand that she'll have to raise if she loses, the one that's going to keep her down in the future. And so obviously she really doesn't want to lose this match, and she wants to not poison the Intercontinental Champion, as she mentioned. So yeah, this is going to be a very good match. Could be a match of the night type of thing for sure. I have a lot of hope for this match. I have a lot of hope for this feud, even if it continues past today. Maybe a Bayley could show up here. There's a lot of different directions it could go, and I am going to go with Becky Lynch, unfortunately, taking the title off of Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, I'm going to match you there as well. I am going to go with Becky Lynch as well. After Lyra did get the win already over Lynch, now twice, so 2-0. Becky Lynch was the 3rd one here. And obviously I think Lyra did the best she could have done with what she was given with this Intercontinental Championship, but now that Becky Lynch gets it, I think it's kind of like alright, we have to use Becky, so if you have the Intercontinental Championship on her as well, it's at least going to make the Intercontinental Championship look just as good. So I don't mind Becky Lynch winning here, but hopefully Lyra doesn't fall into some weird abyss and can actually, you know, have some good feuds with some high names on Raw right now.
Yeah, that'd be very cool to see, as well as what that's going to lead to, because obviously they are kind of setting up a Bayley versus Becky at some point in the future, so maybe at Evolution we'll see a Becky versus Bayley for that same Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah. And then next up, we have the men's Money in the Bank match, where we have a not so stacked, but let's get to the participants. We have Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and El Grande Americano. So it is stacked in the names. However, it kind of feels like there isn't like a real set winner, I'd say. But who are you going with?
Seth would be like the kind of easy, obvious pick in a way because he's the most popular. He's the biggest star on this match here. However, I do think that CM Punk will cost him in some sort of way. Maybe Sammy could cost him as well. There's a lot of people who could cost him, honestly, because he's made a lot of enemies with this new faction that he has. So I do think he will lose here. The question is, I don't know who's going to win. I think El Grande could be a fun pick. However, I think LA Knight is probably the one that they're gonna go with. It's not the one that I would like. I don't necessarily want LA Knight to win, to be perfectly honest. But I think LA Knight is probably the pick here.
Yeah, for me, I'm kind of torn between even a Penta. I think if they really want to make him an even bigger star, I think you give him the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think he doesn't really fit the theme of a Money in the Bank briefcase, but I think that has been the case for previous people in the past, and they still had cool cash-ins. So I wouldn't mind Penta, but I do think I'm going to go with Seth Rollins, because despite CM Punk trying to interfere, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed will be very close right after, so I'm sure they will help Seth Rollins at the very least. But yeah, should be a pretty interesting men's Money in the Bank. But then to wrap things up on the night, we're going to have a tag team match between the returning Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso to take on John Cena and Logan Paul. Who do you got for this one?
Yeah, champion versus champion match here, so that's pretty cool. Obviously Cena kind of needs this kind of match, just people who could help carry the match, because it hasn't been great so far, and I do expect this match to be probably one of his better matches of his heel turn here, or at least hopefully. But yeah, I do think Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, Jey Uso, John Cena, I think all of them can combine to make a really good match here. There'll be a lot of some kind of story that we'll get from this. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I do feel like there's something big happening here at this match. I just don't know exactly what that might be.
Yeah, I'm expecting a very cinematic match type of thing where there's gonna be a lot of BS, a lot of shenanigans going on, probably some interferences. Maybe we get some run-ins or something like that to help one of the sides, whether that's a Travis Scott or that's a Bad Bunny to help the baby faces. But yeah, this match is pretty interesting. But I do think I'm going to go with John Cena's first loss as a heel, and I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso to get the big win.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same as well. I do think Cody and Jey Uso gets the win. I don't think Cody will lose twice to John Cena, and I don't think Jey Uso will lose twice to, or I guess he won the first one, but yeah, I don't think he'll take a L to Logan Paul or John Cena here. I think this would be a big one for Cody Rhodes to get his kind of revenge on John Cena, at least partially here. And it'll be a big story point, as we mentioned, with all the different things that could happen during this match.
Yeah, but that is all the predictions for the night. Like I said, only a 4-match card's a little bit weird, but what match are you most looking forward to?
Definitely the women's Money in the Bank match. It's like I mentioned, it's the most stacked Money in the Bank match we've probably ever seen. Everyone could win, and I would not be surprised. Alexa Bliss would be really cool to have a briefcase with the Wyatt Six. Be like a creepy kind of thing for a champion. That'd be really cool. Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, Stephanie, they're all stars. They're all amazing, and they're some of the best women's wrestlers that we have today.
Yeah, but let us know your predictions on the comments below and what you think about the night. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you made this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next one.